Digging a little deeper into these inscribed angles, we come across another theorem. And that theorem is that if we've got two inscribed angles of a circle, and if they intercept the same arc or congruent arcs, then the angles themselves are congruent. So if we've got inscribed angles that intercept the same arc, then those inscribed angles are in fact congruent. So let's kind of dig into what we see here. And I can see from this problem we're talking about the inscribed angles of S and V. So here's S and here's V. And then if we look at the chords that make up those sides, over here on inscribed angle S, we've got a chord, let's say TS, and then we've got a chord US. Well, let's see if I can't draw that a little bit straighter. Well, apparently not. US, and so it creates this arc here, TU. And then if I look at the angle, inscribed angle V, well, we've got a chord TV, and we've got a chord UV that make up the sides of that inscribed angle, but it also intercepts the same arc, TU. And that would mean, according to that theorem, that these angles are congruent. So again, if two inscribed angles of a circle intercept the same arc, then the angles are congruent. So since the inscribed angle S and the inscribed angle V intercept the same arc, which is TU, then they must be congruent. And so we're asked then to find angle S, the measure of angle S. Well, let's see, if they're congruent, they're going to be equal to each other. So then we can say, since the measure of angle S is 3x, and the measure of angle V is x plus 16, and since they intercept the same arc, they are going to be congruent or equal to each other, then we can just solve for x first, and then we'll solve for the measure of angle S. Let's subtract x from both sides, so we got 2x equals 16. Divide both sides by 2, and x is equal to 8. And since x is equal to 8, and we're told that the measure of angle S is equal to 3x, well then that's just going to be 3 times 8, which is going to equal 24. This is all just extremely interesting, and I know that you're so excited. But here again, inscribed angles, using inscribed angles to find measures. We talked about the inscribed angle being half the length of the intercepted arc, and we talked about the intercepted arc being twice the amount of the inscribed angle. And then here we talked about how if we've got two inscribed angles intersecting the same arc, they must be congruent.